reason why this podcast sucks and we have no fans is because Rick and damn Dupper talk way too goddamn much.
Take warning. Presented today by Super Serial Dupper, Gregory curing the Rona, one cough at a time, and Josh, who got a fucking mic that works.
Woohoo!
I should forget. Your humble host, Rick. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good. Got a fun, action-packed show today, I would say. We've got a lot to talk about. So much happened in the last week. We're skipping over stuff because of that. Do we have a not sponsor this week, Dupper?
Today's brought to you by the COVID Shaming Committee. Wash your hands every 30 seconds. Don't pee and then lick your hands and then touch your face.
Wash your hands.
Shit.
Wash your hands.
Keep your social distance. And today's shame victim is going to be Greg. We are all disappointed in your inability to keep yourself and your family safe. COVID Shaming 101. Yay, COVID Shaming Committee.
I just want to piggyback on that. We talked about this earlier today, Dupper, but Greg, you probably wouldn't have gotten the Rona had you washed your hands before you touched your eyes after you pee. Stop touching your eyes after you pee.
But he's been doing that his whole life.
I know, but now it causes Rona.
Yeah, Rona did not exist before when he was doing it. Now it does.
Yeah. It used to just be a sty. Now it's full-blown coronavirus.
So the whole me getting like dirt in my hands and like scrubbing my hands with dirt, that doesn't work?
No, it's really good for exfoliating, but not for cleaning.
Fuck.
Yeah. And then what if that dirt had Rona?
Can dirt have Rona?
I don't know. Who fucking knows?
I don't know who.
Nobody knows.
You must get your news from this podcast. God damn, dude.
Rick's gonna avoid dirt from now on. Thanks, guys.
This just in from T.I.T.S News. Rona is on dirt.
Thanks, T.I.T.S News.
Hey, Greg. How you feeling, buddy? For real.
Dude, I feel fan-fucking-tastic. So, what a difference a week and a half makes. I actually feel like a human being. And dude, I was so excited for today to get on this podcast and start recording. And then Rick, you gave us technical difficulties for the past 90 minutes. So now I'm not as excited.
I like how it was me and I was on here the whole time coaching everybody through it. Tech support.
Everybody. Coaching yourself through it. You're just talking.
I was good. I was ready. I was done. I sounded good.
You sound good.
Hey, Josh. Now that we can hear you, how you doing?
Doing good, man.
What'd you do this week?
I worked, then went to Ojai for the weekend. Forgot how much of a hippie town that is. And then I'm back.
Happy anniversary, by the way.
Thanks, bud.
Make sure your wife, since she listens, happy anniversary to Josh's wife.
Thanks.
5 long years. It's a good time. Dupper. Dupper.
Yeah.
What'd you do this week?
I'm surprised that Greg didn't talk about his fondue party that he had at the White House that infected everybody, apparently. I'm why would you keep that quiet? I guess it's embarrassing, but I mean, that's big news. I'm
just curious, while you're talking about the fondue party, do you think he put his fingers in the cheese to taste it, and that's how everybody got the Rona after he peed?
He told us that's how he would feed it to all the White House representatives, just right off his finger. He wouldn't even let them dip anything inside the fondue. It was just only
after he peed, right?
Why, I did not hear that part. That kind of adds a little bit of saltiness to it, I guess. But I don't know. I guess that's up to Greg to explain.
Rick, are you watching me while I pee, you little sick perverted fuck?
Well, I'm just trying to. I'm contact tracing. And by that, I'm tracing the contact of your hands from your pee to your eyes and or other people that you've spread corona to.
I've been told by Bear Grylls on Discovery Channel that pee when it first comes out is sterile. So it's just the old pee. Like once it's cold, that's not sterilized.
Old pee. Don't like the pee, huh? Got to be ageist about that shit.
It's got to be. If it's still warm, it's still good to go. Evidently, I don't know. Rick, you like pee? Tell us more.
It's sterile and I like the taste. I just thought of dodgeball immediately.
R. Kelly.
All right, Duper.
Yeah.
Finish your week off, man.
Have you guys heard about this new game called God of War? No, I'm just fucking with you guys. So my neighbor did. He's like become like super weird. I've lived here for like 9 or 10 years, a long time. Not that year. I don't know, 7 or 8 years. And my neighbor's been here the whole time. It's not like he's like a new neighbor. But then now recently, he's been like, he got my wife's phone number so then he could talk to her about the Jeep, right? Like, oh, I'm thinking about buying my wife a Jeep, and I want to ask you some questions about the Jeep, right? And so
Sure.
I talked to him about it first. I give him all the information. I give him the rundown about the pros and the cons of having the Jeep. He's like, oh, okay. But your wife drives it more than you do, so I still want to talk to her. I'm like, okay. That's kind of fucking weird. But then recently, my wife was going to work, and then he says, hey, we're thinking about buying a classic vehicle now. You know, and he starts bullshitting with her, and he's like, oh, well, my wife was like, well, there's this website that you can go to about a classic car dealership in Colorado. That's just amazing. And so she gets the text message, and then what is wrong, guys?
Nothing.
Oh,
We're listening. Colorado.
So he goes to Colorado. He text messages her, and he says, oh, it would have been cool if you could have came out here. And so now I'm like, dude, I want to go back to 2004 and go kick his door down. I don't really know how to take that shit. Like, he's like he tried to play it off like, oh, there's so many cool cars out here. It'd be cool if you can come see it, you know, and or something. Like, he made some kind of insinuation like my wife should have came with him, and my wife was like, oh, okay, ha ha ha, right? And so I don't know, dude. What should I do?
How
Well,
old
here's
was
my
the guy?
question: Did you say that he was married and he went out there with his
He
wife?
is married. He is married. And like the whole way that he started talking to me again about the Jeep in the first place was also very awkward, because he was talking about how like his wife was going through a midlife crisis and she wants to go get a boyfriend, and so I'm gonna buy her a car and shit. And I'm like, okay, that's weird to just drop on me like that. Like, I don't understand what's going on with this relationship. Like, we were always cool before. We would have like 4th of July parties and shit, or not parties, but like we would, you know, set off fireworks and shit. We were always cordial. We were never actually friends. But now it's just like stepped over some boundaries where it's weird.
So, Duper, so I even though I feel better, I still think that I have the ability to pass on COVID. So just let him know I'm having a fondue party, and then I will give him COVID for you, dude.
We'll give Greg like a half a gallon of Gatorade and diuretics. So all he wants to do is piss, then the fondue, and then the neighbor.
Well, do I go talk to him or what? Because like, let me like, I'm not worried about this guy per se, right? Because he looks like do you remember the Sarah Silverman show way back in the day? There was the comedian with the bald hair and the glasses, really ugly dude. But then he also had like this. My neighbor also has like cauliflower ear, so it looks like he got punched in the ear too many times, probably from hitting on dudes' wives. So like he's got this terrible cauliflower. Like, so I'm not terribly worried about this guy.
Is he old?
It's more of a principle thing.
Is he an old guy?
He's a little bit older than us, maybe 10 years older than us. But then it's also kind of like a security thing too, right? So what if my wife's walking out there one day in the morning, and then I mean he comes and does something, right?
Well, I mean, your wife's tough. So I'm less worried about that anyways, because I'm sure she'll ball knock him as soon as he gets too close. But yeah, dude. I mean, if this happened with Rachel, I would be the same way, dude. I'd be like, all right, can I go fuck this guy up now? Or do I just have to get like stupid loud in the middle of a street and be like, you need to back off my wife? I mean, right now he's got plausible deniability, so he'd be like, oh, I just really like you guys and I wanted you to come to Colorado. But maybe just addressing it as, dude, you're making me feel uncomfortable as the husband here.
Rick, you sound like you've done this before.
What?
Trying to hit on other dudes' wives.
Hit on other dudes' wives?
Yeah. You sound like you've done it once or twice.
What's up, Heather? How you doing?
I missed so bad, dude.
No. No. But it's happened.
You made Greg video. You're hitting on his wife. Look it, he's gone.
He went into his safe space.
Yeah.
We've gotten Greg into his safe space.
Woohoo!
No, dude,
that's amazing.
So my wife just texted me, speaking of wives, and the FTMF that I did a few weeks ago on like coronavirus, YouTube actually put a link for like COVID-19 resources. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, Rick, quit hitting on dudes' wives, dude. So what's next?
I like how we went out of that. All right, well, it was my week, so or my time to catch up. I was in a golf tournament.
Golf.
Yeah. My neighbor was like, "Hey, man,"
Golf.
like early on in the week, he's like, "You like to golf, right?" I'm like, "Well, that's the only fucking thing we have to do out here that's safe and we can, go do." He's like, "Well, there's a golf tournament in Bakersfield." I'm like, "Oh, dude, the armpit of California," but it was free golf. It was awesome. It turned out to be really, really fun. Spent a whole day out sweating our fucking balls off. But I did get a little golf tournament out there. Also, the night before, I got to go golfing with Josh, who is now officially a golfer. He's
Wait,
part of golf groups.
Did you carpool out there or what? What did you do? Because
No, I drove out there.
Notice before you answer this, Rick. No matter what your answer is, I have a way to shame you.
I thought we were COVID shaming. Well, you know what? It's all right.
No,
Greg's gotten his
there's
COVID
way more-
shaming.
There's way more ways to shame you. So did you carpool or no?
No, drove.
You don't care about the environment. I cannot fucking believe you, dude.
I don't care about the environment. What are you talking about? Like, come on, man.
First off, you're not even driving a newer car, so the gas mileage on your car is terrible, I'm sure.
It's 5 years
You're
old.
just
5
spreading
years
out all
old.
these emissions into the environment and just making those wildfires out there worse. You are the reason for the wildfires, Rick, and the delay in the show before we started.
Well, you know what? I will tell you this right now.
And you're hitting
Fuck
on his
you.
wife.
And you know my wife, you son of a bitch.
Hey, what's up, Whitney? How you doing, girl? I'm gonna call you later,
Dude,
Whitney.
what if he didn't want people to know what his wife's name is, you asshole?
Good job, Rick.
You have used my wife's name every week for 10 weeks now.
That's a soundbite, just so you know. The part where you said you abuse my wife, soundbite.
We only use Rachel's name is because she wears the pants in your family.
No, her balls are too big for pants. She has to wear a skirt. It's just the way it works. Fuck it. All right, so let's just run down what we're going to talk about today. We've got a little bit about that. Television is coming back, right? Television, some movies, shit like that. We're going to talk a little bit about South Park. There's a Frenchman who had some pretty interesting tattoos, and he was a kindergarten teacher, lost his job for it. Argentinian politics. I can't even say that. We have a new format to our T.I.T.S news. That'll be fun today. Running down Disney a little bit of that NFL because they postponed some games to COVID. We will talk a little bit about the debate, just tapping it for a second, just a mild little tap. NBA Finals. What? NBA Finals is a playoff for baseball. Just starting it off, the Borat trailer came out. He was secretly filming this throughout the pandemic and a little bit before that, but it actually kind of came to light a few weeks ago. Somebody spotted him in LA driving like this shitty old truck, and there was a picture of him dressed like Sacha Baron Cohen, dressed like Borat. A couple weeks later, it comes out and like, yeah, he actually did a sequel. It's his first sequel to anything he's ever done. It's coming out on Amazon Prime now, streaming like 2 weeks before the election. Everything about it to me looks hilarious. And that's just because the first Borat came fucking out of left field. It was one of the most genius, absurd comedies that I've ever seen. And this one kind of feels like it's going that way. Of course, you're going to overhype it a little bit, but even in the name, Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan in the first one. And then you have the second one. And oh my God, what was the name of it?
It is Borat, Gift of Pornographic Monkey to Vice Premier Mikhail Pence to make benefit recently diminished nation of Kazakhstan.
Subsequent film. Don't forget that part. They can't say sequel. So like all of it's so fucking funny to me. I don't know. What do you think, Greg? You excited?
So I was so excited, and then I saw the trailer, and then I don't know what it is about, making sequels or redoing movies, but now we're including our children in the plots now. Like the new Bill and Ted sucked, and it sucked because they're like, oh, we'll just have our daughters do everything. So it wasn't even a Bill and Ted movie. It was a Bill and Ted's daughters movie. And now it looks like Borat 2 is going to be the same way.
I mean, that's a good point. I don't know. I was just thinking of Dumb and Dumber too. They did the same thing, right? Use the daughters. Yeah, or the daughter. Yeah, I could see that. I didn't think about that before, but I'm really hoping that it's a little bit more than that. Josh, have you seen the trailer?
No, because I didn't like the first movie. I didn't even finish the whole thing.
Oh, really?
It's just not my type of humor.
Oh.
It's just, I don't know. Wasn't into it. So
What doesn't touch you there?
he didn't touch me there.
That's
what it was.
Ink there too. Like you actually thought maybe something happened, and Josh has been traumatized in some way.
I have. Borat scares me now.
Did you? I like Josh's commentary is my favorite commentary so far. But Josh, Dupe, what's your opinion on it?
I have zero opinion on it. You and Greg seem kind of excited about this. You still sound excited about it. I have not. I feel like this kind of stuff I've kind of outgrown at this point in my life. It was maybe fun when I was younger, and then at this point, it's not as funny. I mean, I still enjoy comedy. I enjoyed the Impractical Jokers movie, which is kind of the same idea.
They had a movie?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was funny. I mean, it's stupid. It's loose, right? It's not really anything deep, but it was funny. Same thing with this. I don't know if I'm going to see it, and especially there's it's being released to Amazon Prime, so I
Yeah,
mean,
they're
really,
gonna
how
stream it,
big
yeah.
can it be, right?
Well, they Prime came in at the last when he finished selling it. He was selling it to the studios. Remember that COVID changed everything in Hollywood, right? And how they do these movies and how they're going to release them. Sacha Baron Cohen intentionally made this to come out this year, and that was the big deal. Is he wanted, because I mean, it's obviously Mike Pence is in the title. He wanted to get this out before the election, so he pushed, and Amazon came in with some massive offer. I can't even remember what that was, but they offered him a shit ton of money to stream it on Amazon Prime exclusively. So it makes sense that it's going to happen that way.
I just want to see Pence's reaction. That's it, man. I know they showed a little bit of it, like in the trailer, but
Yeah.
I want to see that full scene.
That's the thing, and to me, that humor's still there. I'm an immature child, and I love that shit. I love anything Sacha Baron Cohen does. Anyways, I think he's a great comedian. I think he comes out with some outlandish shit, and he pushes boundaries. And I like when a person can push boundaries.
What has he done since Borat? I'm sorry.
Oh, hang on.
Well, he did the Ollie G show for a little bit.
We got to look up Wikipedia to tell you what he's
No.
done.
I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Like,
It's been a while, man.
Over there.
Well, okay. So I remember him doing, like, that was a musical, but he did do the musical. He did the show on Netflix where he was like the Israeli spy. That was actually a drama, and he was good in that one.
Dude, he was actually
what was the name
he
of
was
it?
a good actor in that movie. Like you never would think about him doing a serious role, but that Israeli spy movie, you're like, holy shit, he actually got some acting skills.
The Spy. That's the one I was thinking of. That's what it was called. He did Bruno. Bruno was pretty funny. That one was fucking absurd. Oh shit, hit my mic. Then he did that series, Who's America? I do remember that one. That one was pretty good too, where he got just random people in there and he was dressed up as different characters again, like the Ollie G show, but Americanized, and that was still pretty good. He stayed active. He's just, he's fucking Borat's what everybody knows him for.
I've never watched any of his stuff. I just don't.
He's not that entertaining. Do you watch South Park still? I mean, that's a show that actually pushes boundaries. That's funny. Did you watch that, Josh?
I watched the pandemic episode today. It's pretty funny. But
yeah, because I mean that actually pushes boundaries, and I feel like it is still funny. I can't believe what they get away with on South Park.
Yeah.
Did you see that, Rick?
I did. I thought it was decent. My problem with South Park is that they the last few years they've been trying to like serialize it, right? And they have like a running storyline. I'm not a big the thing that kind of drags out for me is the Tegrity Farms thing. It was fucking hilarious when it first came out a season or two ago, when he did the whole pot thing and he went to China with it. It was great. In this, it was just like, oh man, he's still doing that Tegrity Farms. I miss the old Randy Marsh where he was like, I thought this was America. That guy. That's the one I want. Like that weird Randy Marsh.
Well,
he's just doing the same thing. He's trying to monopolize on weed. And it's like, I get it. It's funny, but there was a couple things like that. But then like when they hit the whole, the one part that my favorite part was the Randy Marsh shit when they had him be the cause of the virus because he was fucking a bat. And then he fucked a pangolin. Like those things are ridiculous. So that was still amazing. But yeah, I guess it's the storylines that are existing in the show are just
So I haven't watched South Park in years. So all this was brand.
I was impressed that they didn't get afraid Please stay away from the.
Ricky Dupper podcast.
No, I didn't hear you, Josh.
Yeah, we didn't hear you.
I'm done.
Yeah,
Going to
so
my
I
safe
started
space.
talking to Kevin.
Bye.
I couldn't hear you because your mic wasn't working again.
Greg
Oh,
heard me.
God damn it.
Greg, can you
Can
hear
you
me?
Greg?
Dude, like Josh tried to cut in and then Rick just totally like blew him off for like 5 minutes talking about bullshit. And then Rick stops and then Duper just talks. So like I feel bad for you, Josh. So Josh, what was your favorite South Park episode?
Nope, I'm done. Fuck South
Okay.
Park. I'm done with that.
Wow.
Duper
We
killed it
couldn't
for me.
hear him.
And
I
Rick.
started talking because I couldn't hear him talking on the microphone.
Yeah, I didn't know that you were talking. I couldn't hear
You guys are just a bunch of assholes, that's all.
Greg could hear me just fine. Greg doesn't
30
like listening to his own voice.
You know why I heard you, Josh?
Why?
Because I listen.
Thank you, sweetheart.
No.
That was a good question, though, Greg. Greg, what's your favorite South Park episode?
So I have 2. All right. So actually 3, because you got to include the Mongolians, right?
Goddamn Mongolians!
Bye, Duper. And then I really like the Free Willix episode, and then I like the World of Warcraft episode.
Nice.
Scott Pillerman Chili.
Yep, that's my favorite. Should we agree there? I bet you your second one's going to be the same, too, if you have a second one.
What's the second?
Free Willix.
Free Willis is good. See,
Yeah.
bye.
Massa. God damn it.
There was a kindergarten teacher who was let go of his job, and he was kind of disappointed in being let go. He doesn't fully understand why he was let go of his job, but look up, if you guys have the internet available, look up kindergarten teacher Frenchman with tattoos, and you will see why he was let go. The dude has tattoos all over his body. He has those dark lizard eye things that you can't see his eyes. Greg, you want this guy teaching your kids if you had any?
So why? All right. So I'm kind of torn on this, right? So obviously he was hired as a teacher. So did he have all these tattoos?
Yeah, boy.
You know, when they hired him?
Probably.
You know, and then if so, why did they all of a sudden just let him go? Was it because he has the tattoos, or was it because he's doing those creepy ass poses?
It could have been. He could have been doing a phone interview too, because of this COVID shit going on.
What actually happened is that the parents complained about him. The parents weren't the ones that hired him. It was the school board that would have hired him, obviously. So when the parents started to complain, they let him go because the kids were having fucking nightmares because this guy's terrifying.
He's fucking terrifying. Seriously, we're gonna put these pictures up on the website because I totally. If I took my daughter to school and I walked up and they're like, "Oh, here's your kindergarten teacher," and I saw a homeboy like this, I would turn the fuck around. So, no offense, like go live your life, do what you got to do to feel like a human. We all need to do whatever we got to do, but like I also need my kid to sleep. So.
There's those conspiracies about those reptile guys that live in the mountains and like they secretly run the government and shit. One of them got out, and this is him. He's teaching our kindergarten kids fucking reptilian fucking government bullshit conspiracy theories. Josh, what do you think about this?
I think shit, I don't even know, dude. It's like they hired him. What are you laughing, Greg?
Nothing, dude. Nothing. Go ahead.
I just looked at the picture. He is pretty fucking creepy looking. But if it was something stupid like they fired him just for having some sleeves or a couple little hand tattoos or something, I'd be against it. But this guy is pretty fucking creepy looking.
It's extreme.
There's consequences for what you do in your life, right? Like you guys know, I've always wanted to get a penis tattooed on my cheek, just like right here next to my mouth, and I don't do that because I think it will limit my job opportunities, right?
Yeah. You could just be work on the telephone.
telephone.
You could be a male sex worker on the phone.
Huh.
Well, there is opportunity for that now. All you have to do is get on an OnlyFans, and you'll be good.
So, Duper, I was told that this guy is going to move next to you and start hitting on your wife.
Oh, fuck this dude,
and
man.
He loves Jeeps.
He does look pretty strong. I'm not going to point. I don't want to point out that he also looks a little hung Nugan because you had to send us a naked picture of him.
Rick's
But it's
Is he hung? I didn't even see it. Is he hung?
Well, that's the first thing.
I don't know. I don't know if
guess.
that's his fist. Like all the tattoos meld there. I can't tell if that's his fist or if that's like an extra part of his leg, or if the man has a giant penis that's also tattooed. I can't tell from this picture. We're gonna put this on the website.
Pictures. I didn't zoom in on his private parts, so please inform us, Rick.
Well, I can't zoom in on it. I tried, and I just can't tell. I'm just letting you know. It's a very confusing fucking picture.
Rick's disappointed I didn't send him a higher resolution dick picture. I'm sorry, dude. I'll work on that.
Yeah,
next.
dude, if you're gonna send me a dick pic, dude, send me a dick pic.
I just sent you guys a low resolution picture of an Argentinian lawmaker kissing his girlfriend's breast on a Zoom call. That was low resolution. Were you able to see that one, Rick?
I was.
There was
let's
no
talk
dick.
about
You
that.
didn't see it.
I had the dick picture. Why would I look at this woman's boobs?
It's weird tattoo, man. So what happened in Argentina?
That's it. That's the whole thing. This guy, there was a lawmaker out there in Argentina. They're on a Zoom call. There's, many windows up. And his girlfriend comes out of the shower, comes up, sits on his lap. He pulls her boobies out, starts licking on them. The rest of the lawmakers were kind of like, oh my God, dude, what are you doing? This is not appropriate. The dude resigned and he stepped down.
Pulls her boobies out.
Now, if my wife would let me, I probably would have done the same thing.
So was he motorboating, or was he just
not on the Zoom call? I probably would have forgot if she walked out of the shower and there's boobies right there. I'm gonna grab them.
But you're on a Zoom call, okay? So you know you're doing business, and you feel like your wife would be stupid enough to come over.
No, my wife would not come out during a Zoom call. She knows better.
Oh, she knows better.
There goes Dupper taking it out of context.
You won't be
Bye, Josh. So clearly, who was the Zoom call in front of? Was it in front of other legislators or what?
Yes.
So, like, clearly, those legislators in Argentina are like our legislators here, where they don't actually do anything. Because clearly, if they were engaged in actually doing something productive, dude wouldn't be motorboating his chick's tits. Let's just be honest.
I don't know.
Okay, it's not a motorboat, by the way. I'm looking at the picture, even though they have some pixelation there. He was not motorboating. He was legit just on one. He was on the left hoop.
How do you know, Rick? What if that picture was just taken at that time that he was motorboating on that tite?
Does anybody have video of this?
Do you think it would have worked out better for him if he would have been like, dude, I'm just really addicted to breast milk, and like it's a weird thing that I do, and it's a weird fetish, and I can't really control it, and I need help. I bet he could have kept this job.
I just need to go back to this really quick. Shout out to our friend Arthur. You're damn near Argentinian. I know you speak Spanish. Can you please find the video of this in one of your Telemundo news network shows that you watch? I would greatly appreciate seeing this video.
God damn it, dude! I got to go to a safe space. Dude, that's true.
Dude, there goes a quarter of our fucking audience. Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, bye, Arthur.
Bye, Arthur.
That's about it.
Is he still? He's gonna stay there. He's got the next segment. You dick. You're gonna have to come out early. Fuck it. I'm playing this. I'm playing the music. Hopefully he gets back before then.
Do it.
Speaking of tits.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Tits News.
Jesus Christ.
So we got a brand new format segment where we're gonna hit you with multiple news things all at one time, and the guys can comment on whichever news topic that they want to talk about. First up, we got Subway bread isn't bread due to the sugar content, says the Irish court. Checkout stands ban junk food in Berkeley. And then thirdly, a Idaho Ram dealer is offering free elk taxidermy with purchase. Josh, what do you think? Oh, great. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think the first part of these stories, Dupper, I think you secretly want to go on keto. And that's why you did 2 food stories. So, yeah.
It's because
I mean, when that Subway bread isn't bread due to sugar content. So now, Subway's from America, right?
What is it then?
It's
I don't think they
a pastry.
That wasn't. I guess that's what they would call it, as a pastry, but they didn't go into depth about what.
Or a cake. It'd be a pastry or a cake or something, right?
Yeah. What kind of cake would you like your turkey sandwich on today? That's
America.
That sounds delicious. Are you talking like donuts and shit, dude? Because holy fuck, dude.
I mean, let me refer you to KFC, who uses a donut for a bun.
Never
it's
done
the same
it.
thing here.
Never.
Are they still doing it? Isn't that they stopped doing that, right?
I don't fucking know. I just know that they did it, and that's horrendous. That's just all beatus.
What was on that? So you had the donut cut in half, and then what do you put in the middle of that thing?
I think they just put a giant fried chicken breast or something, right?
Yeah,
Holy fuck.
something like that. None of us.
I know it was
did
fried
it.
chicken.
Greg, did you
Yeah,
do
no,
it?
I never did it.
Of course I did it. How you think I got these fucking chins?
How was it?
Well, it was a Krispy Kreme donut, which I'm not a fan of. I think Krispy Kremes are too sweet for me. So maybe that's what this Subway bread is. It's just a new Krispy Kreme, donut thing. But it's good,
It's
dude.
not new
Like
bread
chicken and
though.
waffles.
Remember, it's the same bread. It's just they're saying it has too much sugar.
And now, what type of bread is it? All their breads? Because they got like
it
that
was all their
wheat
bread.
and
What about their
and-
flatbread?
Probably.
Yeah, all of them. The big news about this is because they're always advertising themselves as a healthy choice versus fast food, and then with the sugar content in it, it kind of destroys that image that they have.
Exactly.
So is this like Jared plotting his revenge all this time?
He's just been jerking off in it because his semen's so sweet.
Back to South Park.
Is that a South Park thing? I don't know. Oh yeah, I know that was. Yeah. Damn you, South Park! They did it. Simpsons did it.
Hey Josh, real quick. So when you die, dude, can I just like do taxidermy your head and your beard, and I'll just like post it up in front of my house during Halloween time?
Only if you do it year round. It needs to be there year round, scaring children.
Oh, dude, I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday, dude. So definitely your head would be in front of my house, and no, I'll just do it year round. Yeah, why not?
But you have to go comb it at least once a week. The beard, at least.
that feels like a lot of maintenance.
That is a lot of
Yeah.
maintenance.
I still want your head though, Josh. So just
Yeah.
let me know when you die. All right.
I'll let you know for sure.
Touch me when you're dead.
Good
Are you
God.
celebrating Halloween this year, Greg, or no? You said that's Halloween.
Absolutely, dude. I need to maintain these chins, so I need to eat all that fucking Halloween candy.
Okay,
So you're not handing it out, you just eat it?
That's it.
You're a goddamn grown up man. You can buy candy all year. You don't get
No. Halloween candy is special. Okay, it's like Subway bread. It's extra sweet. It tastes great.
You're gonna put some meat between it?
Like I've already eaten like at least 5 bags of the Reese's peanut butter cup pumpkins.
Oh, I have some
Even-
of the, yeah.
Oh, dude, fantastic.
Beat us. Beat us.
beat it.
All
right.
Beat us.
We'll go to the next little group of news topics. Firefighters battling the Brooklyn blaze discovered up to $1 million cash when bundles of money just started falling on their heads. NFL legend Joe Montana tussles with a woman who attempted to kidnap his grandchild. And actor Rick Moranis is sucker punched while walking in New York City. Josh, what do you got?
All right, so that piece of shit who punched Rick Moranis needs to be caught. That's
Yeah,
fucked up. Rick Moranis is the man. There would be no Ghostbusters without him.
Honey, or like pretty much most of the 80s movies.
Yeah. So that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, and then when you find out more about him, because I guess I didn't realize why he retired, but his wife had died of cancer, so he retired so he could be with his kids more often and just appreciate life a little bit more.
Didn't he retire before? He retired before his wife died, so he could take care of her. I think, right?
Where he could take care of her and all that stuff. Yeah,
That's fucking awesome.
It's a terrible story.
So
Great.
why do all 3 of these things sound like an episode of Seinfeld? Now I know I'm showing my age here, but I mean I could like totally picture like the Joe Montana tussling thing being like a Seinfeld skit, and it ends up being like where Rick Moranis gets punched, and I don't know.
No.
I think we're on the same episode.
Please explain to me how Kramer looks getting his grandchild stolen in New York City.
Wait, what?
I don't even understand what just happened.
Kramer. So how would the Joe Montana thing be an episode of Seinfeld?
So wasn't there like that one thing where like he wrestled God, I can't remember the names. But the bald guy with glasses were like he wrestled like a lady because like she got like the last sandwich or the last loaf of bread or something like that. So I can sure no
Subway going right back to the bread.
We're just taking our time here, letting them think.
I don't know. how does the fire work in? I don't remember a firefighter in Seinfeld either.
I can tell you that this firefighter, it was an insurance claim, if anybody cares. It was like the dead husband's insurance money from when he passed away, and she had just stuffed $1 million into her apartment.
But here's even more interesting about that story. It wasn't even that lady's money, right? So it was an apartment complex. It was the upstairs neighbor's money that was falling down on her house.
Yeah.
I'm rich, bitch.
But they gave it to the old lady. Like, why the fuck did they give it to the old lady?
So Duper, you're our expert on government paranoia and conspiracy theories and stuff like that. So just like hiding your money in the walls, like what holes have you dug to hide the money that you have from the government?
What money? Well, you guys ever see John Wick?
Yes.
Okay, so
no, nobody's ever heard of fucking John Wick.
In the first John Wick movie, he hides all of his money in the basement, in the concrete. That's what I do.
Yeah, but you don't have a basement. We live in Vegas.
Yeah, that's what you think.
Okay. Or is it a fallout shelter?
I wish that when I was a little kid, when I was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old, I lived in California, and there was a in our backyard we actually had a bomb shelter, man, and it was awesome to go back out there. My dad would keep his drugs in the bomb shelter. But as a kid, like,
God damn it.
Even as a kid, I understood the impact of having a bomb shelter in your backyard. I'm like, God damn, that's really not common. That's kind of cool to have that in the backyard. I don't know if it's still there or not, but it was different having that for sure. That came from like the 50s and 60s, so a different era.
Yeah. All right. Is that the news?
That's the news. Nobody gives a shit about your baby, Joe Montana.
Dupers put that on the agenda 2 weeks in a row, by the way. We still didn't talk about it.
So speaking of news, and I don't know how this didn't make it to Tits News, everybody. But did you guys hear that Disney laid off 28,000 employees, in which 67% of them are part-time, and around 30% or so of that 28,000 are from the Walt Disney World theme parks in Florida.
I did hear about that.
All right.
Florida and California.
Well, yeah, it affects everybody, but about 30% of that are people impacted in Florida, and we don't have the numbers of like who was impacted in California or not, or other entities, because this is just Disney World parks and resorts. So I'm sure it's their resorts nationwide. We just don't have the exact breakdown.
This has been the longest 15 days to flatten a curve. I swear to God, it's been more than 15 days. But the layoffs are really starting to hit now, right? Like, so there's the layoffs with Disney, and then there's the layoffs with the airline industry that's hitting right now as well, right? So travel and hospitality are getting hit really hard right now. It's sad to see it. I don't know how much longer we're going to be in lockdowns with Trump getting COVID. I mean, it's a possibility. A lot of states actually retract more, and they actually go back into lockdowns. We're moving into the possible second wave in the fall with more possible lockdowns. I don't see how theme parks or any of these places are. I don't see how they're going to reopen, especially in a state like California, where it's so interesting to see the dynamic difference between California and Florida. Where Florida, they just lifted all sanctions on Disney World, right? And they said there's no limitations on capacity anymore. And then California still won't even open. The theme parks rejected a proposal that they originally had that they were going to release because it was too restrictive. I don't know which way is the right way to do it. What do you think, Rick?
Well, you know me, I'm very much on the let's trust the science that we have, do the best we can, and make the best decisions we can with that. I'm more concerned with human life than I am about dollars and cents. So I'm on that side of it. But I'm also privileged because I get to keep my job through this pandemic. So it's a completely different mentality. My idea, what I wish they would have done right off the bat, and I think I told you this before, Dupe, is why didn't they just rip the fucking Band-Aid off? Close us down, shut the economy down, do everything you can, because you're going to dump trillions into a recovery no matter what. But just clear the air the best you can, get everybody on the same track, and then start from fresh. But what we did is instead they gave us 50 different states with 50 different guides, 50 different ways of closing down, 50 different ways of opening up, and never really found a way to control it, right? So I think the only thing that's going to happen here is more illness. We have that potential twindemic. We're going to run into that shit, and when that happens, more shit's going to close down. Basically what if I were Disney, man, I'd say, we got to close up shop. We got to fucking do what we got to do for the next 6 months, and then reassess. Just like Regal Cinemas just did that with the fucking movies, right?
Hold on. They've done contract tracing through Disney World, and there's not been large cases. There's no super spreader event there yet.
That's
yeah.
good.
So the thing is, because in Florida has been open, and they are still doing capacity. They're not now. Granted, we'll see, how capacity looks like when they do the holidays. But the thing is, it's not like Disney is stopped working. They're still doing construction projects like the Avengers Academy and things like that in California, and they've been working behind the scenes to set up like social distancing markers and things of that nature. And the thing is that there's been a lot of back and forth between Disneyland and obviously the governor's office of California, but there was this last week, I believe, is when the governor was expected to announce reopening plans, not just for Disneyland, but for theme parks. But Disney actually went back to the governor's office and said, no, halt that. We're not ready. Because obviously we just laid off 28,000 people.
That's not what happened. They went back to the governor's. Well, what they saw a preliminary draft of what they were going to release from California, right? And part of that was no outside state people, right? Things like that. So they had really strict guidelines as to what they could do, and Disney and Universal both felt like they were too strict. So they backed off. They said, you know what, don't even release that, because that's not even feasible. That's not even a realistic game plan. So that's the reason why they came back and said, don't even bother.
But I heard about that. That was like a month ago. I'm talking about the one that was recently.
This one here. And then with the Florida thing with Disney World, what happened there was that Disney World, the state opened capacity, right? So you can have unlimited capacity at these parks currently, according to the state. Now Disney's still going to maintain capacity limits because they're trying to be responsible. They don't want to get shut down. And I think they're also trying to prove to California that they can still be responsible even without the limitations. Because if they open things up 100%, then Newsom out in California is going to say, well, obviously you guys can't be trusted.
Right.
Yeah. And then again too, I guess another factor is Florida is a red state, California is a blue state. So, but the difference is that the difference between the theme parks is Disneyland is always a locals park, whereas Disney World is a global park. And it's obviously Disneyland is much more at capacity throughout the past years than Disney World has been. So that's also a part of it.
True.
Yeah. You guys know me, man. I'm not a huge Disney guy, but I love theme parks. The other question I have here too is, even as they start to open back up, are you guys 100% on board with going back to theme parks right now? Because it's not just going to be you that has the same idea that I got to go. You're going to have mass crowds that have been dying for 9 months to get out of the house. Would you go right away?
No, they're still going to have to limit it when this whole COVID thing's over anyways. They can't just have 1 million people come back at one time. And
has since 25% of this podcast has had COVID, yes, I'm ready.
Yeah, I honestly would go back tomorrow. I do feel like I'm in a age group that's okay, and in a health group that's okay. I don't have any underlying conditions. I don't think I would take grandma with us. I'm not taking great grandma.
Yeah.
That's a terrible idea. But
dude, you should take your neighbor.
Oh, that's a great idea.
No mask.
Send him first. Send him the first day. See what happens.
Yeah. In the Jeep.
This fucking guy.
Because, I'm even considering going to places like the zoo and stuff out there, right? So, I'm not overly uncomfortable with COVID. As long as I'm being safe and keeping my social distance, I feel pretty good about stuff.
Yeah, that's how I am. We're actually planning a trip to go up to Vegas in about a month, so whatever.
Oh, now you want to come up to Vegas. You don't want to fucking participate in my fucking fondue party because you want to
did
go
not
to
have the
OJ.
Cheetos.
Dude, I told you I had the fun size Cheetos and you
Nope.
still didn't come over. I'm offended.
I need the family size fat guy here. All right.
Dude, well, you're fat on fat. That's, that never ends good for Cheetos. So, but dude, Rick, whoever's doing it, what happened
you
with
ready
the
for
NFL the past few weeks?
God damn it. I've been waiting for this to end so we can talk some sports. Yeah. So we got our first fucking cases. It was bound to happen. We talked about it at the beginning of the season for the NFL. My prediction is that if they make it past week 9, we're in the gold and they've figured out how to make this work. Of course, we only made it to week 2 before you started getting cases. They had to postpone the Kansas City Chiefs game. They also had to postpone the Pittsburgh game. People are just they're dropping left and right. Cam Newton tested positive yesterday. He's out of the game tonight against Monday night against Kansas City. You're just losing people left and right from not maybe following protocols. That's a big thing that the league office is talking about. They're reinstituting new rules. They're trying to change new protections and new fines. I mean, like they're talking about taking away draft picks now if you're not wearing a mask and like repeat offenders and shit like that. It's getting crazy. Like I don't know, man.
Do you think they should go into? Go ahead.
What's up? No, I was just gonna say the Titans Steelers game, that one that got postponed. That one's actually to me the more concerning because there were 2 games that were postponed. It was New England and Kansas City, and then the Titans Pittsburgh. But the Titans Pittsburgh, it was just a shit ton of players in Tennessee that got exposed, and then also had positive tests. So like just looking at it like that, like what are you gonna do? Because you can only postpone so much. They moved them into their bye week, and they're gonna play then. But you can't do that. What happens once you filled that bye week because you had to shut down again for a week because somebody got sick? I don't know. It's a trip, man. Well, what do you think, dude?
I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to just be kind of a natural progression with sports right now is that you're going to have people test positive for COVID. Can't really shame people for testing positive for COVID unless it's Greg, because Greg obviously that shit. But I think it's going to happen.
I wash my hands with dirt.
I think it's dirt. Unless we're playing the Super Bowl or some shit like that or the playoffs, I don't think we should worry about it. And it's going to be part of the game. It's going to be an obstacle that you have to get by. You're going to have a good backup quarterback. If Cam Newton can't go out, you got to have a good backup.
Do you think they should go into a bubble for the rest of the season?
Like,
yeah.
No, because how long does this go on for, right? Because we don't know for sure that we're going to have a vaccine next year even. So,
but how long
do we do the bubbles for? The NHL
well, you also got to.
I've already said that they're not going to do bubbles for this season.
How many players are on a hockey team?
A lot.
15.
15? Okay, so NBA, you've got about
more than 15 people on a hockey team.
Yeah, that's true. No,
let's bump it up to 20, right?
Dude,
okay, 53-man rosters plus practice squads of 53 men, again, which actually I think they can go up to like 70. Yeah. So you're talking about 120 players plus staff for every single team in the NFL to go into a bubble. I just don't see it's just not feasible. That's way too many people. The NBA, it was feasible because you've got 15 players plus, 5 or 6 staff and a trainer and shit like that. But you can keep it under maybe 30 people per team. You're literally talking about 150 people, 200 people to get an NFL team to go someplace with the equipment managers, strength manager, all that shit is there. I just don't see. I wish it was feasible. They actually talked about it though, that maybe the playoffs they would do bubbles because it's less teams, obviously.
It matters at that point, right? Because you can't have a player missing a game at that point.
Exactly. So that seems feasible to do a bubble then. The NBA is talking about doing regional bubbles so that they can actually start on time, or early 2021. That's their new plan.
Whatever the NBA did, they should just do it nationwide because the NBA, and the NHL, yeah, they prevented COVID. So I think they need to get with the CDC and just do whatever they did nationwide, because then 25% of this podcast could have been saved from COVID. Just saying.
It was all about staying in the bubble. That was the big thing. Oh, and they were using that technology or that science that they picked up in Arizona where they were testing the wastewater to see if there was any kind of positive cases or anything. They were doing that shit. Like they were not letting COVID into the Walt Disney Resort, just the entire bubble. It's pretty incredible that they had that many teams, that many players, that many people, and
Rick,
they still haven't gotten a positive.
why do you like talking about pee and wastewater?
I like R. Kelly.
That's
I'm just
inappropriate.
saying.
Take warning.
I'll still bang his music. Whatever.
Take warning.
Take warning.
Taking warning.
Taking warning. So,
Taking warning.
alluding to our sports talks, and we did just talk about the NBA a little bit. NBA finals are happening. Really, for me, that means my Lakers are in the NBA finals against the Heat. The first couple games, it looked like, oh man, we're gonna steamroll the Heat. I personally didn't trust that because I don't have I don't love LeBron, and everybody knows that. So I don't trust LeBron.
Well, but
he
your
loses
wordage
finals.
your wordage is different now. You don't love LeBron. It used to be I hate LeBron. Now you
I'm
don't love
trying.
LeBron.
I am trying my hardest to accept LeBron James as a Los Angeles Laker, but I
never
still
will.
do not trust him, and I have watched him lose many finals, many more than he has won.
Dude, has
So-
Kurt Rambis made an appearance yet?
Now, Rambis isn't allowed in the bubble. He's got too much shit going on. He's like gallivanting on yachts and shit like that, taking care of the ladies everywhere. Shout out to Kurt Rambis. Thank you.
I heard he was actually in the science field trying to cure the COVID. I heard he was too important to figuring out, the genomes behind COVID to find the actual vaccine. I don't know if genomes are the right thing, but I'm not a scientist. He is.
I say, are you cloning dinosaurs?
Do you think he's actually just testing Jordan's jaundice to see if that'll help?
Ooh,
That could cure everything.
absolutely.
Jordan Jaundice?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm just asking. I mean, who knows? Kurt Rambis. Anyways, go Lakers. I hope the Lake Show pull it off in 5 now.
Why do you think that the NBA Finals ratings are the worst that they've had ever right now? Even with the Lakers in it right now, they're the biggest team, the biggest draw in NBA without a doubt. And they're having
There's several reasons.
They're having the
several
worst
reasons.
ratings of all time.
I right off the bat, I'm going to tell you it's the schedule. They're starting the NBA Finals games at 4 p.m. because they're on the East Coast. I mean, who the fuck is home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to watch an NBA Finals game? Like, this is it. The next thing is you've got the Heat. Now, I love the Heat. They're fun. They're scrappy. They're great players. They're just there to fight. Harrow's great. I love Jimmy Butler, but they're not a draw, right? They're not going to draw. If it had been Boston, that would have been a bigger finals draw. Also, you kind of lost out when Denver went to the Western Conference Finals and it wasn't the Battle of LA. The other thing is that we have the MLB playoffs happening at the same time and football starting at the same time. You've got everything happening all at once. All of a sudden, we are legitimately like, we just had the U.S. Open, the NBA playoffs, the MLB, and at the end of their season in the playoff hunt with the NFL all in the same fucking weekend. Like, that's unheard of.
Rick, fuck you, dude. NHL Stanley Cup playoffs are also happening at the same time. I like how
they are?
You conveniently said the U.S. Open, but you neglect to mention the Stanley Cup, you fuck.
Did I mention also that the big tennis, the big 3 of tennis are happening? I don't even remember what they're called anymore, but that's a huge deal. Did you say hockey was also happening? I thought I heard something about hockey.
Yes,
the Kings
Rick.
aren't doing good, so Rick doesn't know what hockey is.
Just curious if you mentioned the hockey.
It's okay.
Yeah, the
hockey
hockey's
ratings
playing
are actually competing with the NBA now. So I mean, despite all those same factors.
Well, good for them. And then when everything goes back to normal, it'll be back to normal.
Does
So
anybody outside of LA even give a shit about the fucking MLB playoffs or the NBA playoffs at this time?
I'm close to LA and I don't give a shit about it.
Yeah, like no one cares.
If you're a baseball fan at all, you should be caring right now because Houston's still in it and they're making a tear. Now, if they wind up in the MLB finals, like in the actual going for the championship, that's a huge fucking deal because they're cheating pieces of shit.
I'll watch the World Series, but up until then, if the Angels aren't playing, I don't give a shit.
They're not going to be playing. I promise you that because
I know.
And then with baseball, it's interesting this year. It's a lot more interesting, I think, in previous years because with the regional layout of the playoff format, now you have rivalries in every one of the 4 games. There are 4 series that are being played right now. It kind of adds a little additional level of intrigue to each one of these series. Watching San Diego and the Dodgers go at it, and those two teams hate each other, even though they have the 2 best records in the NL. And typical years, they wouldn't be playing in this round. it's still fun to watch them go at it because of that mutual animosity towards one
Oh,
another.
it's crazy. It's going to be a crazy series. I cannot wait for that series to start. Clevenger is going to make it back after all, and he's going to play in the NLDS. We're going to see a lot of crazy shit. Just that series alone is a must watch. But you still have the Yankees playing right now,
which are huge, right? So the Yankees series, you have a injured Yankees team all season, who is finally getting healthy now. And when they're healthy, they're a powerhouse. At the beginning of the season, they were the only team really competing with the Dodgers.
Yep.
And then you have Tampa Bay, who's like this scrappy little team that just never goes away, right? They've been competing since 2008. Like, why? Because they get good, they trade everybody away, and yet they get good again. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, is it Jeter that owned? Which one is
Jeter's
Jeter
the one.
running?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably why, because it's Jeter and it's fucking Jeter. What are you gonna do?
Wait, no, Jeter. No.
I thought it was Miami
Jeter-
though.
Yeah, it's Miami
Mm,
Marlins.
it's
That's
Miami,
the team.
Okay.
Yeah. Tampa Bay can't even Tampa
Dude.
Bay current attendance records are the same as when they could actually let fans into the stadium, and yet they still compete for World Series. It's crazy.
It's so crazy. There's actually more cardboard cutouts than they've ever had in that stadium of human beings.
Like last year, like they didn't have to take anything down; they just left shit up from last year.
I honestly think that this is going to be their business plan going forward, is just to use the cardboard cutouts to fill out the rest of the stadium to make it look important.
Think about the A's and the Astros series too. That was a good one to watch because the A's have been robbed from the Astros for the past 3 years, just as much as the Dodgers, right? There was last year or 2 years ago, they were 3 games apart. How many of those games did the Astros cheat to win? They get over that hump.
All
and
of them.
beat the A's in that series, right? So there's a lot of animosity, I'm sure, there. As
Oh,
much
it
as
is.
the Dodgers hate the Astros, so do the A's.
Unfortunately, in that series, the Astros already took game 1. But we'll see what happens. Again, that's another one where the ratings are kind of low, and it's because that fucking Astros game, it was on at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Again, on a Monday. Like, come on, guys. You want
Rick,
people to
normally
watch.
that's your tea time, right?
Man, that's my nap time. What are you talking about? I'm a teleworker, right?
And then just so you know, Rick, the next NBA Finals game is on at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, I know.
Or,
Yeah, they moved them to 6 p.m. during the week, but they were or no, the last one was 4 something.
So game 2, I can understand going up against the NFL is tough, right? Like that's a ratings juggernaut, and that's something that the NBA usually doesn't have to deal with. I mean, even in a regular season, the beginning of the season ratings are pretty low to start the season off because they're going up against the NFL.
Yeah.
But this year, I would say that the NFL competition is the biggest thing on Sundays. But the game 1 and the game 3 ratings, I don't understand those ones, why they're so bad.
Well, we haven't had. I don't know. Well, game 3 was on a Sunday.
Was that the Sunday? Well, game 1 and 2 were terrible. Then all the ratings have been bad for this series.
All the ratings have been bad for the series. Honestly, I think everybody. One of the things I think is that everybody wrote it off and just said, you know what, the Lakers are going to win it, and that was just the end of it. Lakers are there. They're too dominant. Blah 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 blah, and they moved on from it. When really, the Lakers have significant issues with their role players, and then of course we also have fucking LeBron James in a finals, which is like a 70-30 shot of winning. Who fucking cares, dude? I do. I was just gonna say I want to do a quick FTMF
All right,
before we get the fuck out of here.
Go.
No, hang on. I got to do the segment. Shut up.
Take warning. The following segment is a personal view and opinion that may offend some. This is an independent opinion and should be taken as such. Put away your tissues and closed minds. It's time to hear the fucker out.
All right. So this is all I'm going to say. The 4 guys on this podcast, we've known each other for decades and we love each other. You guys out there probably, yeah, well, except for Josh as he shakes his head, but everybody out there, you've got your group of friends like this. You've got your family. You've got these close people that you love. This year has been very divisive all over, and it's not just the virus. It's not just the politics. There's a lot of shit going on, and a lot of shit going on in your own personal life. But Greg said it best, and it's kind of stuck with me. He said it about a week ago when he was half dead from COVID. Is there anything in this world that you should be so fanatic about that it would cost your friendship or your family? And I really can't think of one thing in this world that matters more to me than those people that are close. And I just want to point that out to a lot of people because I see a lot of negativity, right? There's a lot of cynicism now. Everybody's got to feel right. And they say a lot of stupid shit. I see it. You throw it at me too, and that's fine. But you're still going to be my friend afterwards. And if you don't like each other's opinions, don't fucking share them with each other. Just be friends and love. That's it. Other than that, yeah, just the negativity. Fuck you. Fuck you, motherfucker. That was the bottom line. Fuck negativity right now. Just keep it together. That was it. Short. Let's go.
I cried, Rick. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't want to be your friend anymore.
I am actually gonna save that FTMF because I think that's the first time in my life I've ever been quoted. So thank you, Rick. And then
thank you for giving me something to say.
It's all Smarties you ate earlier, Greg.
And then, I know, dude. And then like 2 weeks ago, Dupper called me wise. Like
What?
I didn't expect that coming either. So dude, I'm gonna fucking retire. I'll see you guys
Greg,
later.
he was saying that to make you feel better because you've just been diagnosed.
Dude,
is that what it was?
And he might have been
Okay.
He was
drunk.
keeping your spirits up. It was
Yeah.
just to keep you happy.
Thanks, Boo.
All right. You got any parting words there, Josh?
No, enjoy the week. Enjoy some football. If you're watching basketball, watch it. Baseball, watch it. And be good people.
Sounds good. Duper.
I don't fully understand that advice right now, Josh. So if you're watching a TV show, watch it. That's what you just told us to do. Like, hey, if you're watching the NFL, watch it. If you're watching Seinfeld, watch it. If
Hey,
you're
Duper,
watching,
I wasn't gonna call him out on that. I was just gonna let it roll. Like, just let him say his words. It's
Yeah.
his time.
Hey, fuck both of you. And fuck this podcast.
Dude, keep the negativity away, dude. Because Rick just poured his heart out, shared us that story about negativity, and then you just come right back at me with it.
Your negativity has put me down by my words that I just spoke. All right.
If you're speaking, speak it.
If you're speaking, speak it. If you're seeing it, see it. And if you're shutting up, shut up.
All right, dude, what do you got?
I like. Hold on, shut up. I like how. I like how it's supposed to be Josh's outro, just his outro, and Duper has to get the last word and call him out on his outro.
Because it's
Who the
Duper and Rick's
fuck does
podcast.
that? Oh my god!
Wait, well, why am I getting lumped in with this shit?
You
I didn't talk
were
shit.
fucking with Duper.
Fuck you. I let you go. I was like, dude, he can say whatever he wants. I don't care how dumb it sounds. Like, that's not my problem.
Just like
Well,
Never mind.
You know,
Go ahead.
his stupidity is representing our podcast, Rick. So we can't have that.
All right, dude, what are your parting words?
Josh just looks down. I love you, dude.
Right now, he's actually trying to figure out if he can sell the microphone. He just on eBay right now.
We got a couple minutes left. I don't want to get my outro yet. What do you guys? We should do a Thanksgiving together or some shit like that, man.
No.
That'd be fun.
No.
Even though the CDC says we can't do that, right? Because we can't break state lines, but we should do it. Fuck it, man. We'll meet in
What's
bars.
Oh.
We'll have an outdoor fucking buffet style.
If you're going to be there, Duper, I'm not going.
Oh, that's positive.
We
You
can
know,
do
I'm
it
here in Vegas in a
Pilgrim.
couple weeks when you come out here.
I'm not going to come see you. I'll come see Greg, though.
Aww.
I'm gonna sleep outside his house just so you have to walk by me.
I just think you're one of the bums and just walk right over you.
There's a bunch of us out there.
Just to make sure I'm right, was that your parting words?
My parting words are, man, I'm gonna miss you, Marc-Andre Fleury. They signed Lenar for 5 years, $25 million. There's no definitive trade out there yet for Fleury, but financially you can't keep them both. And both the Knights and Fleury and everybody's saying that they don't want to trade him, but they're actively looking for a third party to make that trade happen. So Fleury, thank you for the years that you've been here, and thank you for the Stanley Cup trip. It was amazing.
Oh, this is hockey.
Yeah, it's hot.
Okay, I got it.
The one,
Greg,
it's the league where the ratings are going up.
Greg, what are your parting words?
Where to begin? So I can't believe nobody mentioned this, but we just did 10 fucking episodes. That was my
What the
celebration
fuck
shit.
was that?
Those were the banners. So, congratulations, guys. I didn't think we'd make it to episode 3, let alone 10. So thank you for that.
We all lost the bet.
Yeah, I know. But we do got some good stuff planned for the Take Warning pod. We're going to have a political type of wrestling shenanigans going on, so be on the lookout for that. We're also going to do a special where I give my experiences of COVID and what helped me out and what I think works and things that you should do to help you, if you do get it, recover quickly. Just thank you guys for your support. Dude, I was telling Dupper this earlier, but I didn't even tell my family I had COVID, but I just told you guys. So
because they would have shamed you, huh?
Well, yeah, they would have. And they would have disowned me at least for the 26th time.
Would have sent him a case of hydroxychloroquine.
Here's some bleach, you'll be fine.
The
whole special right now. How do you get over COVID? How a shit ton of money or be the president? The same way fucking Magic Johnson got through AIDS, same thing for COVID.
Absolutely. So thank you for reaching out every day, guys. It really did make a difference. You still don't want this shit. Yeah, chances are you're probably going to survive it, but it still sucks when you go through it. So other than that, thank you guys. And Rick, please remember, don't cook bacon naked.
I haven't forgotten, and I haven't done it again. So right off the bat, I'm going to let you know it's been 1,069 days since my Los Angeles Dodgers were robbed of a World Series. Fuck you, Astros. Outside of that, I think I got everything out in the FTMF, dude. Keep the negativity low, man. No reason to hate on each other. We can all have a different point of view, and we can listen to Dupper fucking text us for 14 hours straight on his opinions, and it's all good because we love each other.
You
outside of that,
in the morning, I had a message in my phone when I woke up this morning.
So my favorite thing to do with you is just to kind of light the fire early, like like how like an old man in his cabin would go light the pilot to get the fire going. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm lighting the pilot at 4 a.m. Like, oh, there's the one I can send him. It's just
I do,
so much
just
fun.
I do send you shit sometimes just to troll you. I don't know if you like that, but I often troll you.
No, I often send you the same things. It's more fun. And the great thing is that Dupe or Greg and Josh are in that same group text, so they don't really have any choice but to sit through it and be in the middle.
I don't read any of it. I just send random gifs. Even if it says something about the podcast, I just go past it.
There was a time I really didn't know if Greg was alive because we were going back and forth, and then Greg was not responding, and I was like, "Holy shit, maybe he's dead." It was like 6 hours. But this commentary that I have to give back to Rick is way more important. I'll ask about Greg in a minute. So,
all right, that's the show. All right, we're wrapping this shit up. Everybody have a good time. We'll talk to you guys next week. Oh shit! There goes the mic.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. You fucking dick, dude.
Let's try and get one more out.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Rub it out, buddy. Just rub it out.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to the show today. Please go to takewarningpod.com where you can explore additional content on the podcast, as well as find the links to the podcast on your favorite podcast platforms. Also, please get on social media. We are on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Take Warning. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you like about the show, what your thoughts are on the show, and what you would like to see on a future podcast.
Blind with your civil rights, you demand that I eternize your name. Walk ahead. You cover us in shame, and I take the blame. Living by the rules to which high school blues. Walk ahead. Keep provoking. Blood red sun starts choking. Can anyone stand this nonsense? Eating away, telling us to stop and obey. To stop and obey. Now rats can shine. Jokers got silver lining. Holy Mary sings songs in the wet rain. walk ahead.